This is Chad with Izola. We're back at you live from Long Beach Comic-Con 2015.
Yeah.
And we've got Tommy from Daredevil, Tommy Walker, right, Tommy?
Yes.
Yeah. From Daredevil and a bunch of other stuff you're going to tell us about here. But first off, why don't you tell us about your character on Daredevil? That's what we want to hear about. That's what all of our listeners are going to want to hear about. And about your time on the set.
Well, thanks for having me here.
Yeah,
and it was great. No, it's cool.
No, you're welcome.
No.
The pleasure's all yours.
This is your first one.
No, this is your first interview ever.
Ever podcast interview.
No, I've done tons of these.
And most of them better.
And all of them were better. Not most, all. This one's already just horrible.
We've already established that you're friends with a friend of ours, Peter Shinkoda, so
Yes.
it's open game. I already let you know it's open game. You're going to get some of the wry humor and everything that I'm sure you're already familiar with Peter.
That's a very, very nice word to use, wry humor. We don't get enough of that one.
Yeah, maybe not. So tell us about Daredevil and.
Oh man, Daredevil was great. I'm already a fan anyway. I was like a big comic book fan my whole life, so I knew a lot about Daredevil. And as it was, so when I knew they were doing the show, of course, I wanted to be a part of it. I'm a New York actor. I knew they were casting a lot of New York stuff.
Let me interrupt you real quick because that is right. We were talking at first how you are a big. Let's talk about that actually real quick. You're a huge comic fan.
I am
We
actually.
were both giving Peter crap about his comic collection.
We were.
And it not being bagged and boarded and everything like that. So this started for you way back. I mean, you're a big comic fan. Why don't you talk us a little bit about that first?
Well, when I was a kid, we moved a lot just because my dad kept changing jobs, and I, was replaced in a lot of areas. So making friends was always slow, and I kind of learned to be very independent. But as a little kid, my whole escape was comics, man. I'm utterly a purist, too. Like, I do like some independent stuff, but I don't read a lot of it anymore, I'll admit. I am like this true blue, all-American kid. Superman, Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman. And then the Marvel stuff was Spider-Man, Captain America. Daredevil was huge. So, it was escapism. My favorite stuff in Marvel was basically like, I guess I grew up on a lot of old stuff. Like, as a kid, I actually sought out the old Romita runs.
Okay,
as a
so some
kid,
Silver Age stuff.
Yeah, like as a little kid, I was more drawn to the even older stuff. Okay. Like when in the 80s, when I was a little guy, I'm like looking for 60s and 70s because something about it was just fascinating. So I love the old Amazings. Into the current stuff, I was growing up on, I guess it was like the Mike Zeck, Craven run, that era was kind of when I was younger, and Todd McFarlane's insertion into the business.
Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man run, still one of my favorite of all time.
Yeah, and Eric Larson taking over. I was into all of that. Daredevil for me, it was, it was John Romita Jr. and Nescenti. That was my absolute favorite run. It was current when I was little, so I was constantly buying those at the 7-Elevens off the rack. Because that was what you did back then, off the rack.
I know, when you could buy them at a 7-Eleven.
I know.
You can't do that
Well,
I love that era so much.
I know.
Like, if you're a collector,
the 80s were great.
If you're a collector, that off the rack, they say direct sales on them.
I know.
They're not worth as much.
I know.
I always remember, I would never buy it like that. A grandparent would bring to me, say direct sales. It didn't come from a shop. It didn't come from the right place. Oh, man,
but those ones when you just, like, if you're on a road trip or something, you just want to read it, or the parents are just like, those are the ones that you're like, okay, that's cool. We can go into 7-Eleven or now they're Wawas back east and stuff like that. But, it was nice that you could just run in and grab one and have something to read while your parents are, like, chit-chatting in the front. And I could ignore my brother.
All of this leads to, we're going to talk about some of your other roles, but it leads to Daredevil. I mean, you nail a role on obviously something that was part of your childhood, the comics and everything. What was that like, and how did the role go?
Well, I auditioned in August of last year for a different role, as it turns out, and it was for a much smaller part for one episode. And it was like, I didn't care because I was working at the time in and out of other shows, guest starring on Unforgettable, guest starring on Alpha House, Us and Them, all this other stuff. But it was like, Us and Them was a couple, but it was, one and done, guest star. This was another guest star, but it was also Daredevil. So I was like, oh my God, please get me on this show. I would love to be part of that, just in the annals of Daredevil history. Would be great.
You're like,
or the anals, whatever. The anals too. End up the annals or the anals.
There's no judging here.
Well, all right, Tommy, relax. But then at the same rate, I didn't get it, and 2 months later, I guess it was 2 or 3 months later, the casting director called me back, Julie Schubert, who's amazing, won an Emmy for House of Cards. she called me back for a better part, Francis. And, all the names were changed in the script. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what it was, man. I knew that it was a henchman or a bad guy or a bodyguard of some sort. And I was like, great, I know that history because they've had about 70 different incarnations in the comics. He's never the same guy.
Yeah.
Only Wesley recurs very briefly. Very briefly. The thing about Wesley on the show is that character was created out of almost nothing because Wesley was so minimal in the comics. Francis is the same thing. It's like an amalgam of all the henchmen you've seen Kingpin have over the years. Anyway, when I found out more about it, got the call. They wanted my hair darker, a couple little things they wanted to work out because I'm very blonde. I was like, okay, sure, whatever you want. Like, I'm game. Let's do this.
So I have to say that because that's what threw me off. When I first saw you, I was like, I know his face. And then I saw Daredevil. I'm like, wait, no, his hair.
Yeah.
It's throwing me off.
Almost everybody, if they don't know me outright at the table right now, they look at me like, God, I know you, but I don't. Yeah. And then they go, oh, wait, no, of course. You got dark brown. You're Francis. Yes, you get your face crushed by Kingpin in episode 12. All that stuff. But sometimes they know exactly, which blows my mind, one. And then two, when they don't, they're like, But anyway, getting it was great. It was very much a dream come true. My first day on set was getting my hair colored down just as a test. Peter Shinkota next to me in the trailer getting his hair trimmed. And that's how we met.
Okay, cool.
He was the
that's
first
all it
person
takes
I met.
with Peter.
Yeah, he's the greatest.
No, he's a great guy.
He's wearing a Marvel T-shirt. I said, "Do you read those?" Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I read comics. I read comics and I love them.
We got an impression and everything.
And I said, "Oh, great, me too." And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe this is great. I'm so excited." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see what we do." Anyway, the next day I'm on set and it's with Peter, with Toby Leonard Moore, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Charlie Cox, and me, and that's it. There's no one else on this set that's not crew or writers or producers. And it's just us. And I thought to myself, like, the day before, your life was kind of one way. And the next day, it's completely different, has a whole new kind of interpretation.
Now, with your character, did they do, like, when we talked to Peter about it, he said they were really stingy with the scripts. They withheld them. He, like, his first night on set, he really, the whole group of the guys on the rooftop and everything, the henchmen, he didn't, they didn't really know what was going on. They had kind of kept a lot of it, fairly secretive, for obvious reasons that worked.
They're very protective.
Was it the same way with your role?
Yeah, like working for Marvel's like working for S.H.I.E.L.D. Quite literally.
Jeez.
You get an encrypted password and a direct website address to go to that is not something you can just Google search.
Wow.
And that's all I know about. I can't give you any more fans out there, but it's really cool. And you get.
Can we know your password?
I don't even know.
No, because the password changes every 7
changes
minutes.
It's like honestly, it's like this message will self-destruct.
Step on my joke. Yeah. Thanks.
I love to step. That's what I do. I step on your jokes. I bring you back down.
Just bring you back down to the trenches.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it was great. They for me, I knew even less because my part's smaller. I know where I stand on the totem pole, and
safe to assume you're not coming back.
Oh, I don't die.
Oh, so you are you?
I don't die. That's all I can say.
I do have to say, you did an amazing job getting your ass beat. Well, your face beat in that scene.
The whole side.
I was like, oh, Jesus, God, oh.
Yeah. Well, a little thing's interesting about that is, Stephen DeKnight being such a great showrunner and amazing producer and director. He, should I wait for that or no?
Yeah, go ahead and wait. I'll clip it out.
It's really loud.
Cosplay contest, you must go and check in at the Nerds Like Us booth in the cosplay corner.
Nerds Like Us booth.
Yep.
But Stephen DeKnight, who was a great showrunner, director, and everything, he originally in episode 12, when we find Wesley dead, there was the notion that Fisk was going to turn to me and say, "Why weren't you with him?" Blah blah blah. He was my friend, and was going to pummel me to death. And Stephen, of course, they realized Fisk would have no one on the outside. Vanessa's in danger. She's waiting for him on a helipad, right? Who's going to be with her?
I hear him trying to tell us something without telling us something.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I'm hearing.
I basically get put in charge of Vanessa, and I have to get her out of Dodge, get her out of the country.
That's right. That's right.
And that's where we leave it.
Okay. Okay, so...
Mustafa Hasaballah, please
yes.
come outside of the gate.
Please come outside.
I'm going to meet you there.
Please, sir.
Going to meet you there.
We'll just have a recording based on that.
Yes. But that's where we leave it at that point. And it's pretty interesting. We'll see what happens, right? That's all I can say about that.
I'm going to have to get Peter in the corner. I dissected his entire arc and all the reasons why He's coming back. I know he is.
Oh, you do?
We've had a discussion on
He hasn't
this.
told me this yet.
Oh, I'm sure he hasn't.
I need to.
No, because they'd kill
I haven't
him.
asked him yet.
There's a Marvel sniper on my head
Yes.
right now.
Yeah, I can kind of see the light.
Yeah, there's a little
They're
dot.
not really doing very well at hiding.
So
No, they're pretty.
yeah, I mean, I went through
they
with him.
want
like,
you to know.
They want you to know that they can kill me.
you know, every character that died, they referred to him as dead, and in the past tense. Peter's character, they never refer to as dead, and always refer to him.
They
in
said
the
his
present
incident or
yeah,
his
like
accident.
all kinds of stuff. So
It's very, very.
there's a lot. There's
Well,
a
you
lot.
know,
astute
he's
of
kind
you.
of a conspiracy theorist anyway, so
I'm
he
ready.
tries to.
But that's attentive. That's attention to detail.
Well, that
We
and I want my
also
friend
want-
to come back on the
yeah.
show, so I
Hell
can
yeah.
be like, "That's my buddy."
I know, right?
You know, he gets you a beer in the bar. Not really, but
Peter is a
we
very.
like to say he would get you the beer in the bar, but he's the one that goes, "No, can you pay for mine?"
Yeah, he's. I thought you were going to get that. No, Peter's extremely
No.
generous.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a good buddy. He's actually my closest friend off the entire project. We all stay in touch. Deborah and her amazing boyfriend EJ and Toby. Vincent's the man. Like Charlie's, he's great to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We all, everybody still. There's a lot of love there. And Peter and I we've done some cons together and a lot of interviews together, and we just became real tight over
cool.
time. And
no, that's awesome. No, he is a great. I took him to see Godzilla, the world premiere of Godzilla.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're right. He picked me up lunch. He wouldn't let me. He's like, I got you, Osuna.
he's so generous. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
He's really nice.
He came and stayed with me and my wife up in New York for about 5 days 2 weeks ago, and he stayed at our place, and we were completely thrilled to have him. No problem. Like he's great. But he insisted on taking us out to dinner one night, and insisted. He's so aggressive. I'm like, dude, you don't have to pay. It's fine. It's not an inconvenience that he's like, no, you don't. You're helping me so much. It's like, he's a very appreciative. He doesn't let anything slide.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude.
I could sing his praises for a while.
Yeah, I think we all could, but this is about you.
Fuck Peter. Fuck Peter. It's about me.
Yeah, you know what, Shinkota? Yeah, I can't even
Forget
say
you, Shinkota.
I was like, you could, but it's gonna just no, don't
Anyway.
do it.
So let's talk about a couple other roles that you've had. You were bringing up some comedic roles and stuff like that. Why don't you share with us?
Funnily enough, Francis is the complete opposite of what I normally kind of go out for, if you will, on TV. I do a lot of comedy stuff. I was in Evil Dead, the musical in New York for a long
There's a musical?
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh.
Yes, and I really
where
wanted
have
to
I
see
not
this.
seen this?
I
What's
was
going on?
It's
original
like
Broadway cast, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
That
the
was
most
great.
amazing. Like I really wanted to see it. They were actually. I don't even remember where I was, but I saw a sign for it. And I was like, I need to go see that, and I didn't get
Fun
to. I was
times.
really sad.
It's fun times. But in TV, I did play a pretty nasty hitman in Unforgettable from CBS. I think it's now on another network. But other than that, it's a lot of comedy.
That one's kind of bounced around. I think it finally did get canceled, or
Well, it got canceled twice already,
Yeah,
and now it's picked back up somewhere
it
else.
again?
From what I understand, but
I haven't seen it.
Jeez.
It's usually a summer show. I didn't see it this summer. So.
yes. But
Wow.
I played Officer Phil Buckley on Us and Them for Fox, which wound up going overseas. Now it's airing overseas. Hilarious. It's like a cop who sells marijuana from his apartment, and very funny dude.
Well, you can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean it's
Might as well.
Might as well.
I'm sure it's probably based
Grown
more
in the
on reality
bathroom.
than a lot of things. So.
Probably too much, right?
Yeah.
They actually filmed it in his apartment in
It's
New
in my
York.
apartment.
That's what happened.
I'm actually a cop too. No,
Hey,
but no, that was fun. I do a lot of that stuff. And then Alpha House, play a soldier in Alpha House, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie last year, but that wasn't funny. That was me just getting pummeled.
now, what was that? I mean, so you got pummeled by the turtles, or
Yeah.
tell us about that. I mean, because obviously
It's-
you weren't being pummeled by turtles. Like how does that whole process go?
Well, the funny thing about that was that I was a Harakiri soldier who wound up, they wound up changing so much of that movie, where the original Shredder, I don't know if you know this, was William Fichtner. And then they changed it and made it a big Asian guy become Shredder, because I think there was a lot of backlash and problems.
Oh.
So my inception to the movie was very strange, because I was working with the Shredder.
Oh, really?
And
okay, so you're early on. In
very
the whole
early on in the
development.
process.
Okay.
So I still have credit for the movie, but it's not even really worth mentioning because you don't really see me. It's
Okay.
like kind of like this flash in the pan moment, and
you just see his body being thrown.
just thrown.
across the-
But it's very interesting because if I did not do that movie, then I probably would not have gotten noticed as much for some of the stuff I've gotten recently.
Yeah, the name on
The
your resume.
name and the cred, and I still have the cred. They were very good about keeping my credit, at least.
Okay.
I did spend days on the set. You know what I mean,
Right.
working on it. I had a full, complete mercenary, Harakiri soldier outfit on.
Dude,
it was
that's
crazy.
awesome. Did they
That
let
was
you
awesome.
keep it?
No.
How awesome would that
He
be
tried.
if you could, though?
They tackled him on
But-
the way out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So It did help my career tremendously.
That's right.
But I still credit it. I have no regrets. I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, too. So having gotten a part of that movie was like also really thrilling. But you don't really see me. It's like, there, okay. I might as well be an extra.
You know it's you. Hey, look.
Oh, no, it's me. And
you hear him.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. But it was fun, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
So what are we going to see you coming up in?
God.
Anything? Can you
talk about?
Anything
That I can
you
talk
can talk about?
No,
yes. But we are going to be seeing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soon.
Well, this stuff, post-production for things take a long time. But I can't talk about...
Not if it's Marvel. Marvel gets that out on a quick.
I don't know about them. I can't speak for Marvel because I can't insinuate one way or the other with them. I know that
I'm going to know.
I'm not back yet
You
for season 2.
all.
I can tell you that much. I'm not back on season 2, let's say, yet.
Okay.
But I also know that
You're not dead.
I'm not dead, and that's all I know, and that's all I can say. But again, they're very smart over there, and they're very cool, and I'm sure whatever they have planned is going to be awesome. Because frankly, if I wasn't in it, I'm still a fan of that show.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I'm staying real busy though. I'm going to be back and forth in LA a few times.
Hey, you're moving to LA, right?
Well, there's talk of it. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do with that yet. But I'm so busy right now in New York that I'll be jet setting for a little bit.
He'd just be like Peter. I mean, he just couch surfers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough people around where I'm sure that.
Oh,
look, you can crash on my couch. I don't think you and your wife would fit, but
on Wonder Woman's couch.
We'll get a sleeper sofa.
Oh, maybe it's not a bathroom. It looks like a bathroom. I was like,
but a nice try. So real quick, I find you to be quite funny. So since you're, I
thought you were going to say attractive because that's what I was thinking.
You are hot, but I don't want your wife to beat my ass. So.
It's okay if I say it though.
Yeah, that's
you're
fine.
hot.
Opposite sex is fine. But,
thanks.
No, you are. You're very, you're nice on the eyes.
My wife.
So, being a funny man, have you ever done stand-up, or have you ever wanted to do stand-up? I mean, that's a real different type of
it's funny you asked that. The first thing I ever did as an entertainer was not stand-up, but it was kind of like an impression gamut, because I do a lot of impressions. I did an off-Broadway show called Musical, which is like an impression sketch comedy song-based show for like 3.5 years. The first thing I ever did was college. And I wanted to be an actor, but I had no direction, and no one really helped me get set up. I was a basketball player. I was like a walk-on basketball player, and I knew there was this open mic night, so I decided that I was going to go up on this open mic night for 10 minutes and just do movie scenes verbatim. I wouldn't miss a word, but I would do all the characters in the scenes, like Crispin Glover, Thomas F. Wilson, and Michael J. Fox doing the scene in Back to the Future where the car's wrecked.
Yeah.
So I'd do all of them. And if they laughed, and if they thought it was funny, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm on to something. I'll do impressions. I'll be funny. I'll be an actor. And that was kind of how I gauged it. I was just a 19-year-old. I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, give it a shot. So I can't believe you loaned me a car without telling me it had a blind spot.
Now, Biff, I never noticed any blind spot when I would drive it. Hi, son.
How you explain that wreck out there? It's there. And then, of course, blah, blah. You fast forward, Michael comes in, and
I know what you're going to say, son, and you're right. You're right. But Biff just happens to be my supervisor, and I'm afraid I'm not very good at confrontation.
And he says, of course, what? What does he say next?
The car, Dad. I mean, he wrecked it. He totaled it. I needed that car tomorrow night, Dad. Do you have any idea how important that was to me? Do you have any clue? I know, son, and all I can say is I'm sorry.
And I did that whole thing, and everyone was like, yeah.
That's great.
So the first impression I ever did was Michael J. Fox, and it seemed to work out pretty good.
I would say so. Oh, my God.
And then, of course, Regis Philbin came. I went on and started doing Regis Philbin and all kinds of different characters. And all right, little Matthew McConaughey. Hey, come on now. We're here live on Popcorn. Come on, get on over here. I'm looking at, she says, I'm easy on the eyes. I'm looking at Wonder Woman over here. Come on. All right.
You are amazing. You are amazing.
So that's kind of how I started acting, was doing impressions.
Okay, well, you did mention twice that you've done theater.
Mm-hmm.
So, musicals?
Yeah, I can sing. I was in a band for 6 years called Sweet Fix, so I was the lead singer of Sweet Fix. And I just happened to get musicals sometimes. It wasn't something I went for full throughout. I just got very fortunate. Evil Dead and...
Huge musical theater fan.
Oh,
I
cool.
actually grew up doing theater, and I can't get enough of it. So every time I go visit family, because they're all from Jersey.
Okay.
It's crazy in Jersey. Not Jersey Shore, Jersey. My family's not Jersey Shore, Jersey.
Right
but
on.
We always go up to New York, go see a show, and I would never be able to get Chad to go sit down on one of those. But,
I'm more of a rock singer who happened to get musicals, but I can still do the trained voice thing. I don't sit up there and I'm like, like the big heavy vibrato, but I can hang.
But see, I don't like those. You
know?
It's
like Kiss Me, Kate.
Exactly. I was listening to Sirius, and one of the songs from that came on. I was like, oh.
No, it's all good. I mean, I'm very fortunate the fact that I had the ability to do it, and I'd get jobs now and again.
Well, you have such a well-rounded, you can pretty much do anything.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, wait a minute.
Well-rounded. What? You thought I was going to say ass or something?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I haven't been able to look at your bottom. So, again, I don't want his wife to kick my ass.
Well, my wife said recently, she's like, you got an ass now. I said, what? What does that mean?
It's okay for guys.
Okay. She's like, you never had one. Now you've got one. I mean, I work out a lot. I'm also a certified trainer, so I'm always in the gym. And I'm like, I work out, but it's like, she was so funny to me. She's like, you didn't have an ass before, and now you have one. I'm like, well, how do you react to that as a guy? Like,
you say thank you, especially if you're, a trainer. That's good.
It's just stuff your wife says to you. Believe me, that's a lot nicer than what I get. You know what I'm saying? We'll tell you later. My wife's sitting right here with us. So you're at Long Beach Comic Con. What are you going to do the rest of the con? And we're going to release you.
That's cool. We're over there I'm over there with Pete doing autographs and taking pictures and stuff, and everyone's awesome. And I was in London with him in July, and it was huge. And this is very busy, but it was so packed in London and so hot that it was kind of like really difficult to get through a whole day. Like, we were drenched. I'm not exaggerating. We were all just disgusting by the end of the day. So it was a tough one, but a really fun one. This one's very air conditioned and and comfortable.
When did you get here?
We got here early because we had a panel at 10:30.
Yeah, well, when did you get in LA?
We got yesterday.
Early yesterday. You lucked out because the 3-4 days before that was our worst heat wave.
That's what I heard.
Of the year.
Disgusting.
Oh, so bad.
I bought a portable air conditioner just to try. Yeah,
it was 90 degrees.
And I live near the water in San Diego, so you'd think you don't need it because
the breeze.
But no, it's crap.
Yeah.
Well, I like it out here, so any chance I get to come here,
you doing any other cons? You doing New York Comic Con or anything like that coming up?
I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quick interview with Marvel. I'm going to go as a fan basically for a day or two and just check it out. I'm not as a guest though, but I'll hang with some people that I know and
I won't be
check
there.
It out. Well, it's fun to get to go this year. Last year I went and wasn't part of the MCU. This year I get to go as a fan,
That's awesome,
but I'm kind of part of the MCU now, so it's a cool feeling. And
you gonna dress up?
No.
Oh, come on.
I dress up for a living.
Kidding. That's true.
But I have got to go to the Rhode Island Comic Con in November, and then the Edison, the New Jersey Comic Expo in Edison in late November. So I'll be at both of those.
Awesome.
As a guest.
Very, very cool. So if any of our listeners are in those areas, come see Tommy over there, or look for him, harass him, whatever.
Harass me. I'll do some impressions for you that I didn't do on this.
There was.
There's a lot more.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for asking me over.
Yeah. Well.